We track storms to alert you first. This is KIMT Storm Team 3, weather coverage you can count on.
Welcome back. The time is now 12:17 on this Friday afternoon, and we are tracking snow and a lot of it as we get into later on today. Right now, sort of seeing a lull in the activity for some of us, and temperatures are into the lower to middle 30s. So for most of us, it is cold enough for snow, but we are starting to see a little bit warmer air trying to mix into the system, and parts of northern Iowa may actually see more of a wintry mix with some freezing rain, even a few sleet pellets mixing in with the snow. Right now, as we take a live look over Rochester, we got cloudy conditions, a few flakes still out there. We had some snow this morning, but that has now, the band of snow has lifted a little bit further to the north. Seeing a few flakes in Mason City right now, 33 degrees. And as we look at Doppler radar, you can see where a lot of that blue is shown up there. That's the more moderate snow that has now lifted north a little bit of Rochester around Zumbrota. Over towards Wabasha, Red Wing, starting to see it filling in a little bit more here into Rochester. Back down to the south and west, we got some light snow falling there in North Iowa, but notice as we're getting some of those deeper blues there, that's going to be more of that moderate snow that's going to start to build in for this evening and even into tonight, and we're going to see more of that really start to build in from the south and west. So this band of snow, that's likely going to be the area where we see more of that significant snowfall accumulation for this whole storm, the whole duration of the storm. So that's going to be generally north of Rochester, north of Interstate 90. A lot of the higher totals are going to be because that's where the snow is currently falling. As we look back down to the south and west, notice this area north of Omaha. That's where we're starting to see some more of that moisture, the more heavier snowfall starting to develop, and that's going to build into the north and east across North Iowa into southern Minnesota later on today. So because of the light snow we've already had this morning, we do have some partially covered roadways out there with the snow. Interstate 90 from Rochester over towards Albert Lee, even back towards Fairmont, and notice some of that pink shown up there west of Mankato. They've had a bit more snow, so roads are closer to being completely covered in snow, and that trend will continue for much of the area as we go throughout today. So because of this, we have winter storm warnings and winter weather advisories in effect. More of the significant snowfall is going to be across Minnesota and into North Iowa, where we're currently seeing a lot of that snow falling. So here's a look at SkyTracker 3 right now. Pretty in line with the radar picture. We have that band of snow just north of Rochester, stretching back down to the south and west. Got some light snow still out ahead of that, but more of the significant snowfall there north of Interstate 90 back to the west. Then we start to get that heavier snowfall that I pointed out north of Omaha. That's going to start to fill in from the south and west and overspread the entire area. So here we go by 5 p.m. If you're heading home from work, it's going to be a pretty dicey commute home as we're looking at some moderate to even heavy snowfall at times with snowfall rates. Not going to be surprised if we see those rates of 1 to even 2 inches per hour with some of those heavier bands setting up here in southeast Minnesota and North Iowa. But also note this pink, that's that wintry mix. Charles City to Decorah, that's where we may see some of those lighter snowfall amounts as there's going to be a sharp gradient, sharp cutoff from the heavy snow to almost no snow at all around Decorah because of some warmer air mixing in and some rain actually falling there just south of town. But as the storm continues to wrap up, we get snow around 10 o'clock. That snow continues through the overnight hours and then really clears out of here as we get into Saturday morning. So the question is, how much snow are we expecting? So this has been our current forecast. We've been keeping this forecast pretty much consistent for the last couple of days. Made a few minor tweaks to it. So this is the latest forecast that we updated just a little bit ago. So I'm going to step out of the way. You can see that heavy band of snow still north of I-90, 9 to 14 inches from just north of Fairmont through Mankato, Owatonna, possibly Dodge Center, Zumbrota, Wabasha, because that's where we're seeing that snow falling right now. Looking at about 7 to 10 inches around Rochester, Austin, Albert Lee. 4 to as much as 8 inches around Mason City. But the thing to note is if we get some of that warmer air mixing in, there's going to be a sharp gradient, a sharp cutoff in those higher totals from the lighter amounts of 2 to 5 around Charles City. So just make sure to stay with KIMT News 3 for updates on this winter storm as we continue throughout the day. You can also download the KIMT Storm Team 3 weather app. It's free, and you'll get updates from us and also the National Weather Service on the latest updates as well. So 7-day forecast for the weekend is always in view. Showing that winter storm warning for today, high of around 31 degrees, pretty much where we are right now. Snow may continue a little bit into Saturday morning. Keep in mind, we're also going to see a bit of wind coming in through the overnight hours into tomorrow, so blowing snow still may be a concern for travel tomorrow morning, but after that, things are looking pretty good next week.
I was just going to say, I think I saw 56 on there. That's pretty
56.
incredible.
I know, right? Going from winter storm to almost actually record highs possibly by Wednesday of next week. It's kind of a wild week.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
You bet.